What's up guys, my name is Ace and welcome to another Q&A. Now I know I said I'd do these monthly, but I apologize, I really just haven't been feeling like I want to do a Q&A lately, but I'm feeling it today, so let's do it. Alright, so in the last episode you guys left me a ton of questions and I can't answer all of them unfortunately. A bunch of them I have answered in the past already, so I'm not going to be answering those. And I did have to kind of pick and choose a few questions there. So if I don't answer your question, I do apologize. I just don't have time to answer all of them because I do want to keep these videos relatively short. If you're new to this system and you haven't seen one of my Q&As before, how it works is if you guys have a question for me, it can be about gaming, can be about my personal life. Really anything goes as long as it isn't offensive or anything like that. If you have a question for me, leave it in the comment section of this video, and then for the next Q&A, I will go through the comment section and I will pick and choose questions that I'll answer for the next Q&A. Alright, so let's kick it off with the first question, and that is, what influenced your decision to get an Xbox One over a PS4? Well, there are actually a few things that pushed me towards the Xbox One over the PS4. I've always kind of been a Sony fan. I've always loved PlayStation. That's the first console I ever got was a PlayStation 1. But there were just a few factors that pushed me towards the Xbox One. And the first one may seem minor to most people, but that is Call of Duty DLC comes out early on Xbox. And for the average person, it probably doesn't make too much of a difference, but with the YouTube channel that I run and all of the stuff that I do on my channel, it is very important for me to have that DLC first. So that was a huge factor in my decision. Also, Titanfall, I didn't want to miss out on that for my channel, and also just for myself. I do want to play Titanfall, and I love Titanfall so far. So I'm really happy with that decision. And finally, I have quite a few friends that play on the Xbox One, so that also kind of pushed me there. As for the money difference, I know the Xbox One is about $100 more than the PS4, at least in Canada where I'm at. And it wasn't really too much of an issue for me since I reinvest all the money I make from YouTube back into anything that can contribute to my channel. So it's not like I was really hurting for money as far as money to spend on a new console. So that's why I chose the Xbox One over the PS4. I have absolutely nothing against the PS4. I think it is an awesome console, and I'll probably end up buying one maybe later this year, I'm not too sure. But I did go with the Xbox One. Moving on to the next question, what do you think a Call of Duty player should work on more? Learning routes and spawns, or getting better gun skill? In my opinion, these two things are pretty much equally important. Without one, you're not going to be successful at the other. So if you have terrible gun skill, but you know every single spawn location and you know all the popular routes to take and everything, it's probably not going to do you much good if you start shooting an enemy in the back and he has enough time to just turn around and kill you because your gun skill is so terrible. And on the other end of that, maybe you have amazing gun skill, but you know nothing about the spawns or the way that enemies move around the map. The gun skill is not going to save you if you're constantly being shot in the back and you just don't have time to react to that. So I feel like you need a base level of gun skill before you do anything, and then once you have that, it'll be very beneficial to learn the routes and the spawns and things like that. The next question, for the next Call of Duty, would you prefer a Sledgehammer game or a Treyarch game? And if it's already been announced, then what do you prefer between Treyarch, Infinity Ward, and Sledgehammer? Well, keep in mind this question was asked way before that it was confirmed that Sledgehammer is in fact developing the next Call of Duty game that will probably be released this November. That hasn't been confirmed exactly as far as the date goes, but Sledgehammer is developing the next Call of Duty. And I'm a little bit nervous about this, to be completely honest. I was really looking forward to a Treyarch game because I absolutely loved Black Ops 2. And Sledgehammer, well, they did kind of work a little bit with Modern Warfare 3. Actually, I think they did add quite a bit to Modern Warfare 3. They're a new developer as far as Call of Duty goes, and I'm just a little bit nervous to see what they come out with. I'm optimistic at the same time, though. They do have a massive number of staff. I believe they actually have more staff than Infinity Ward at this point, and they have been working on this game, I believe, since the end of Modern Warfare 3, so for about 2 years now. So I'm excited, but at the same time, I'm a little bit nervous. Next up, will you be doing your amazing How to Dominate series for Ghosts? Well, first off, I really appreciate the compliment on the series, and for those of you guys that don't know, I did How to Dominate. It was a series that I made in Black Ops 2 around this time last year, and it was basically discussing how I'm so successful with each particular game mode. So each episode covered a different game mode, and I went over all of the things that I do to find consistent success in a game mode, and they were very time consuming and very effort intensive videos. And for this reason, I'm still not too sure whether or not I'm going to be doing this series for ghosts. It just takes so much time, and I feel like a lot of people aren't really all that interested in ghosts anymore, and it just might not be very appreciated. I know some of you guys would absolutely love it, but I'm just looking at sort of how much time I have available in my life right now, and these videos take sometimes around 8 to 10 hours to make, and that's a lot of time for me. So I don't know for sure, I'm not saying no, but also at the same time I don't have any immediate plans. Moving on to the next one, I'm not going to read the whole paragraph. Basically the question is, how many hours a day or week do you play? The answer might surprise you guys a little bit. A lot of you guys seem to think that I sit at my desk all day and I play like 8 hours a day. That's definitely not the case. I probably play about 1 to 3 hours a day, maybe 5 days a week. I don't even play every day anymore. And that's between Call of Duty and Titanfall at this point too. So I don't play a ton. Most of my time actually goes into making videos rather than playing. And yeah, that's probably a bit of a surprise to some of you guys. The next one, have you ever considered a career in air traffic control? Absolutely not. That's way too much stress for me, and I don't think I'd be able to handle that. Moving on, what are your opinions on sniping in Ghosts? More fair or too unfair? In my opinion, I feel that sniping is basically as balanced as it could get in Ghosts, for Call of Duty at least. Call of Duty does have a really fast time to kill, so it's kind of hard to balance the sniper rifles so that they're competitive, yet not overpowered. And I feel that Ghosts has basically struck the right balance there. The next one, how come you don't play game modes like Safeguard, War Games, Squads, Extinction, or Zombies? Well, for me personally, when I play Call of Duty, the reason I play multiplayer is it's kind of my mind against the enemy's mind, and they're real people on the other end. So it's basically me trying to outsmart and outthink other people. Sure, there is some physical part that goes to it, like the dexterity in your thumbs and hand-eye coordination, but most of it goes on in your mind, and that's really what gets my adrenaline going and really sort of stimulates my mind. So when I play these offline game modes, it doesn't really do anything for me, and I kind of feel like it's just wasting my time. But that's just me personally. I know a lot of people really enjoy that, and if you enjoy it, that's awesome for you. It's just not for me. What's your favorite camouflage in Ghosts? I'm actually really disappointed by the camos in Ghosts for the most part. There are very few camos that I actually like, and I would have to say if I was going to choose a camo, it's typically the scale camo. If I have it unlocked, that's the camo that I like to use. It just seems to be kind of one of the bright ones, and it's unique, and it's not something we've seen before. So yeah, scale camo I guess, but I'm still not really happy with that either. Moving on, have you ever been recognized in public? And if so, how did you feel, or how would you feel? No, I haven't been recognized in public yet. I think that day is probably still pretty far away. I'm not too sure how many people are even in my area that watch me. I'm from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, just in case you're wondering. And I doubt I have very many viewers even in this city, and then the chances I run into them is very slim. So no, I haven't been recognized. If I ever did, I would be very shocked and very happy at the same time. So if you ever do happen to see me, then don't hesitate to come say hi. It'll definitely make my day, and it'd be awesome to meet you guys. The next question is, what is your kill death and win-loss ratio within Ghosts? Currently, my kill death ratio is right around like 2.75 or 2.8, somewhere around there, and my win-loss ratio is right around 2. Next, if you had to stick to making either tips and tricks Call of Duty videos or general gameplay Call of Duty videos, which would you choose and why? Hands down, I would choose tips and tricks Call of Duty videos. This is what this channel was designed around. This is the reason for this channel. I really enjoy sharing my knowledge with you guys and helping you guys improve at the game, and it really helps me improve at the game at the same time, so definitely tips and tricks. Alright, next up, and apparently this is a serious question, Ace, do you eat pancakes? Yes, I actually do eat pancakes, but probably no more than any average person, so there you go. The next question is, what type of livestock do you farm or crops, and how big is the ranch? And the reason for this question is, in the last Q&A I had said I'm living at home still, living with my parents, because we live on a ranch and there's a lot of work to be done around here, so that's the reason I'm still living at home. And we actually have about 100 head of cattle every year, so we get 100 cows in the spring, and then we raise them throughout the summer and take care of them, and then we sell them in the fall. On top of that, we have about 12 or 13 horses, something like that. I don't remember the exact number. We have like a donkey, a goat, and a pig as well, but those are more just random animals that we have laying around. And the actual size of the ranch is 80 acres is what we live on, and then we lease out 160 acres where we put the cattle throughout the summer. Moving on, do you think Danger Close is overpowered and that it ruins some gameplay in Call of Duty Ghosts? I wouldn't call it overpowered. To me, something that's overpowered is something that allows a beginner player or somebody that sucks at the game to suddenly become an amazing player while using whatever that perk or weapon or whatever it is. So I wouldn't call it overpowered because it does cost 4 perk points, and that's quite a lot, so it basically takes over your entire class. And sure, you can get a bunch of kills that you wouldn't have normally gotten with it, but you aren't going to be like leading every lobby suddenly just by using Danger Close and explosives. Having said that, I don't like it in the game. I think it should be removed from the game. I don't think it really has a place in the game. There's explosives, and the counter to explosives is Blast Shield. In my opinion, Blast Shield does not need to be countered by another perk. Blast Shield is a counter to something, and that should be the end of it. So that's just my thoughts on that. I don't think it should be in the game. Next question, do you think games such as Grand Theft Auto 5 and Call of Duty are the reason and blame for real-life violence? No, I definitely don't. I feel it can desensitize people a little bit to violence, but it's not going to cause them to go on a killing spree or something like that. There has to be some sort of deep-seated mental issue for that to occur, in my opinion. At least from what we've seen in these places where they're trying to blame video games for something. There's usually some serious mental issue going on underneath that, and the person just happened to play video games a lot. So no, I don't feel that there's really any correlation at all. Moving on, do you troll? No, I don't actually troll at all. It's just not for me. I think it can be kind of funny in certain situations. Some people are really good at making really funny videos about trolling and things like that. But for the most part, I see it as kind of being childish and, I don't know, kind of pointless. You're purposely ruining somebody's enjoyment of something, and that's just not for me. Next up, will you play Destiny? Now, I'm not really all that excited for Destiny. I don't know why it is. I think I'm just completely satisfied with Call of Duty Ghosts and with Titanfall at the moment. I don't really have too much interest in Destiny at all. I'll probably end up picking it up at some point, but it's not something I'm really looking forward to playing. Okay, so for the final question of this Q&A, why the name Xclusive Ace? This is actually kind of a funny story. Way back in the day, I used to play paintball competitively, and a friend of mine had a team called Xclusive, and it was spelt the exact same way, starting with an X, and that name kind of stuck in my mind over the years. And then a couple years ago when I was creating my YouTube channel, for some reason that just popped into my head, and I thought I'd kind of steal it from them. But it's not like that team's in existence anymore or anything. That was a long time ago. So yeah, I decided to use Xclusive there, and then Ace has always been my gaming name. Since I was like 4 or 5 years old when I played arcade games, I would always enter Ace because you have the three-letter name that you had to enter for the high score, and it was always Ace, and just growing up, I stuck with Ace, and so that's the reason for Xclusive Ace. Alright, so that's going to wrap it up for today's Q&A. Make sure you guys leave me a question in the comments below if you have a question for me. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys next time.